Well, the first impressions that I had from them when I talked with them in the first interview was that they really understood the market. They knew community health centers, they knew the need for FQHCs. That was one of the first things, I mean, the quality of what I thought we were going to get. And I was really surprised when we got the estimate from them. The price was really better than others that we would talk to. And we talked to several recruiters as we considered this. So I would say that the value that you get for the quality, it was really, there was a very far gap between our first choice and our second choice. They were clearly the front runner.
So when I got the call, I was actually not looking for a job. I was pretty happy in the job that I was at, but they allowed me the opportunity to just kind of think about what opportunities were out there. And they asked me a lot of questions. They asked what I kind of foresaw in my future. They asked what they felt would be something that I would be interested in. They asked what had motivated me to be in medicine and what had motivated me to be in a leadership role. And so the nice thing was that they listened. They actually paid attention to the things that I was talking about. And even after the call, it left me reflecting on whether I should be looking. Because I actually, after receiving the call, it left me wondering, okay, is there maybe a little bit more to this? And they didn't seem to push a particular job. They were just, they seemed to be asking more just my experience and my background and what had got me to where I was at.
One of the things that was really clear for me is that when we started seeing the candidates that they sent back to us with the detail of what they gave us, we knew a lot about the candidate. I mean, they knew their personality, they knew their background. They were very detailed about the reasons that the person might take the job. And I think really this is probably something that I think is really important. I think they also cared about the person they were recruiting. I think that they wanted to find the right spot for the doctor as well as for us. So it wasn't just this recruiting trying to get, shove somebody into the job to get it filled. I think they were really trying to find the right match. And I don't think in recruiting that always happens. And so they were, I think, talking on the other side to the provider about what we really had to offer. And I think on our side, they were really telling us what the person really wanted and needed. And then you can make a good match.
This has absolutely been a good fit. And that was what was interesting. And I think that's what UHC did an amazing job at, was aligning what I felt were my principles of why I wanted to be in leadership role in medicine, why I wanted to be and why I felt it was important to be a chief medical officer. They listened to what I had to say, and then they seemed to have aligned that with the request of the client, which was Variety Care. And having come here, I realized that when I was interviewing, that was actually the selling point, was when I came here and I realized that, they were performing, an amazing function with an amazing resource and still was very mission oriented. And so that is very much aligned with what I wanted to do. I believe in being able to impact people's lives, is probably one of the best things that as a clinician you can do. But, when I see the opportunity as an administrator to be able to impact multiple lives and have a much larger impact, they listened to that and they saw that this was where they felt that this was probably the best suited opportunity, and I couldn't be any happier, and I'm hoping that's the same as my boss.
I would, absolutely. I mean, the community health center movement is very collegial and everybody wants to help everybody out, and so when you find someone that really has a high quality product, I would recommend them. It would not be a bad steer for anybody, and I'd be happy to recommend them.
Absolutely enjoyed working with UHC. I've worked with a recruitment team, and I can tell you that there was a huge disparity between working with UHC and other recruiters. Very pleasant. They did listen quite a bit. They listened to what I had to say. They listened when I had concerns. They responded very appropriately in a very quick amount of time. They were able to get back if I had any questions or concerns. It was very low pressure on me to have to kind of move or make any particular decision. They let me, see what was out there and what was being offered, and they just kind of made all the opportunities available. And so I would highly recommend, having sit in this position currently and having been placed by UHC, to other providers to consider using them, because I think they do an excellent job of aligning individual, points of interest and putting them together to where people can best be suited.
I would. I would absolutely use them for future projects. In fact, we have hired them to start another search for us, and we're looking for additional staffing because of growth. And if I had an executive placement, you know, not just in the provider side, but if I had another placement opening in the financial side or administration anywhere, I would call them again. I think that they do a very good job of executive recruitment.
I think UHC did a pretty amazing job of getting me to where I'm at right here with this organization, because I wasn't looking.